Okay, guys. Hey, this is Craig Blanchette, a little bit crazy here. So if you didn't notice me, it's me. Or recognize me. That's probably a better way. We are doing our coach huddle here. It's our normal Tuesday night coach huddle. A number of us, we had a team of 20 that went to Go Global 2016. And so we have a number of those people that are there. They're going to be here tonight and sharing. What we're going to do is we're going to share one action item and one highlight that you came away with. When I go to these events, it's an investment. And I'm trying to come away with at least one. If I come away with too many highlights or too many action items, I get overwhelmed. So I come away and looking for just one of those things that will move me forward and then actually do it. And so we're going to go round robin tonight, talk about that. We'll have some Q&A. But the first thing I wanted to do as we start off is actually go over it is the Take Shape for Life. We call it our habits of transformational leadership. And so kind of a new idea that I got from one of you awesome people. Her name is Betsy. She suggested that these habits are so fundamental and powerful that it'd be a good idea to have us read them as we start our meeting every week. And so if you have your little book here, it's on page 12. And so what I'll do here is one of us will read the first one, and then we'll, Mary, you can take one. Barbara, you were there. Linda, you were there. Betsy, Kim, and Martin. So I guess it's hard to say. It's hard to say which one will go next because I don't know who's to the right of you or to the left of you on Zoom. So how about I'll take...
don't do alphabetical order, please.
Don't do or do?
Don't.
Okay. So why don't we start off? I'll just start off with the first one. Mary, you're number 2. Kim, you'll be the third one. Barbara, you're number 4. Linda, 5. And then... I'm not sure, Betsy, if your audio is working. So let's do Martin for 6.
It's working.
Oh, it is? Okay, so you do 6. You do the last one. So I'm going to start off here.
What page number?
12. And you'll be the last paragraph there.
What? Wait, I don't know what we're doing.
Have you seen this book?
I went and grabbed it. Okay.
Turn to page 12.
Okay.
And so I'm going to start. You'll be We Understand.
That's ironic. Okay.
Is it?
Ready.
Okay. And then Kim, you're going to be In a World. Barb will be Which Is Why. Linda, Because We Are. And then Betsy, So We Are For. So I'm going to start off here. We know people are at their most fulfilled when they're pursuing what matters most to them in life.
We understand that people can feel powerless in shaping their physical, mental, and financial well-being.
In a world where the path to optimal health is littered with ineffective solutions and deception.
Which is why Take Shape for Life inspires and equips you to live optimal days through a philosophy and a proven system grounded in what works.
So Barb, you're up next.
Read the last 2 because I'm a little behind. I thought I was supposed to talk about that.
Well, you just read it now, and you can talk about it if you want. So read the because one there.
Sure, because we are enthusiastic about the potential we see in people, interested in the dreams they want to fulfill, purposeful in promoting optimal living, and magnetic because the results people achieve with us are simply extraordinary. So we are for people who are
hold
ready.
on. Just that one there, just that paragraph. Okay. Betsy's going to grab the last one.
Actually, Barb, continue, because I have my book in my bag, and neither one of them have the right thing.
Oh, no problem.
Okay.
I just sprung this on all of you, so anyway.
Transparency.
Yeah, thank you.
We are for people who are ready to take personal responsibility for their optimal health and life.
Yeah. So thank you guys. That was a little bit clunky, but we got through it. The main thing is I want us to be really connected to this mission statement of who we are. There was a few about a year and a half ago where Helen came in and talked to the leaders at Take Shape and all of our top presidentials and TJEC teams, and they said, "So tell me who you are." And they got about 20 different answers. And so that was clearly a problem that we had an identity crisis. We didn't really know who we were. And so she listened to us for a year and then her team developed this statement. And she's like, this is your statement. I'm just reflecting in the best words I can, all the things you said you were, and this succinct statement. And so one of the things that I want to do for our meetings is we'll read this, probably all of us together in the future. So we'll post this on the Optimal Health Coach page because some of you didn't go and don't have the booklet. But the other thing too that I want to think about here is, what if we had somebody that was considering looking at what health coaching was, and they wanted to know more about it, and we sent them this and said, tell us what you think. Or maybe they didn't even consider being a health coach, but we thought they were awesome, and we sent them that and said, give me your feedback on this. Tell me what you think about this. And anyway, so those are a couple of ideas that I had, but I'd love to get some feedback from you specifically about one of these that jumps out to you and why. So go ahead.
Hey, Craig, were you talking about the list, the mission statement list, or the habits of?
Yeah, we're not going into the habits of transformational leadership yet. Those are
okay.
There's a reason why we're not moving to that, and
that's fine. Perfect. I just didn't know. I didn't want to jump ahead.
So, do one of these stick out to you specifically, Linda, above the rest?
Yeah, well, absolutely. I mean, all of them are phenomenal.
Yeah.
I think my heart and the mission that that's I think developing in the past month is we understand that people can feel powerless in shaping their physical, mental, and financial well-being. And for me, my mission statement is, and it's interesting because I think if all of us look back in our past experiences or jobs or things that we've been drawn to, you might find common threads and why that can empower your mission here. And for me, I've always wanted to be someone who empowers or incarnates safety for people to feel like they can grow. And Helen addressed that, is creating safe spaces for people. So knowing how I felt before I came to Take Shape for Life and how I felt powerless in a lot of areas. I don't think I would have known mental and financial, but those things came about. And now I'm thinking, my heart now is to help people have the outside match what's potentially there on the inside, so they can go out and do what they're called to do on mission, whether they are a believer or not. That, and now I'm folding that in to how I perceive each person in conversation. So it's not a diet anymore. It's how can I help breathe life into you? And that's how I brand and represent myself.
Awesome. Thank you, Linda. Kim, you had your hand up.
Yeah, I think the part that stood out to me was that because we are enthusiastic about the potential we see in people, interested in the dreams they want to fulfill, purposeful in promoting optimal living, and magnetic because the results people achieve with us are simply extraordinary.
Well, I don't know how you read that without crying. I can't read that one without crying.
I read it fast. Is that
okay?
Yeah, if you read it slow, then you can't. Yeah, it's the gravity of that is pretty amazing. And at one point, I was just flipping through because I know I put an asterisk by it on my notes. I have a hard time dreaming myself. I'm more focused on a to-do list and checking things off, and haven't had a lot of experience doing that in my life until coming to Take Shape for Life, which is interesting because I don't know about you, but the reason I signed up was to lose some weight, change the number on the scale. And it was at Go Global that I just realized my why and why I like doing this. I mean, because I can say I love helping people, and I do, but what I really love is I love helping people discovering what their purpose is. And that's not just losing weight. It's
how
so
boring
much
would that
more.
be?
Yeah.
As human beings created in God's image, and our purpose on life was to lose weight. Like, oh my goodness, how boring.
Hey, Craig, I have a question for you.
Yeah, Mary.
Do you already have the mission statement printed out somewhere or on a document? Because I would like to send that to Shelly. She's on the call, and she's one of our new health coaches that kicks high noon. She's going to be senior coach at the end of the week. So.
Oh, wow.
Yes, there are actually some available in card format.
Ooh.
And hold on.
Transformational leadership.
And in the bookstore for a mere $2, I think.
Do you have one that's printed, though, electronically? I have it here.
This one is front and back. It is the leadership and the mission statement.
Yeah, and so what she was asking is to send it to somebody that's on the call, Shelly, so she could see it live right now, I believe.
Yeah.
Did I misunderstand, or is that true?
Nope, that's true.
Yep. So I'm going to look for that here. Why don't you, who else wants to share one? Thank you, Martin. I appreciate that. I scanned it when I went to Sundance, and so I have it on my computer, and I'll get the link here in just a second and put it up there.
And the reason I know this is because I bought the book before I know they were going to give it out.
Yeah. Agents.
I think the two things that I really enjoy about it are the in a world where the path to optimal health is littered with ineffective solutions and deception, because I think that we spend a good amount of time, or I feel like I have, dealing with deception and people's lack of trust, which is why connecting with people is so important, because they're so ready for us to deceive them. But then also the other thing that is just me in general is that so we are for people who are ready to take personal responsibility for their optimal health in life. I love that. So.
Yep. Yeah, I love that fact that it's I can't take responsibility for your health. I have my hands full with taking responsibility for mine. And so it's critical that we can only partner with people. I can't drink someone's water for them, and I can't eat their meal. Now, I will drink Mary's water sometimes, and I'll eat her meal replacements, no question, but I can't eat her meal replacements for her. And I can't drink her water for her, right? And so, I love that as well. Thank you. Did you get that, Shelly? I posted it in the chat message, and if you click that, it'll download it for y'all. For y'all, you hear that? And so if you guys have, if you have something else you wanted to share that jumped out to you, feel free. Otherwise, we're going to move on into talking about our highlights and an action item from the conference.
I can add something there.
Yeah, go ahead, Martin.
Where I'm at. Oh, and it's more in reading that. It's not necessarily one that stood out. It's in it's as the body of work. And if you notice that all of them are how clients feel beforehand. It's how they're feeling before they start this journey. And two books that I've always, or actually, and people have heard this quote, is most people live quiet lives of desperation, which is Henry David Thoreau. But there's another one by James Allen, which is a short book that everyone should read, is As a Man Thinketh. So as we thinketh, we become. So our thoughts really control how we are. So the first part of that, I always see it as how people were or how they feel about themselves. And the part that excites us is what's the one part that talks to us? It's because we are excited that we see something in them that they don't see yet, and we help them awaken that and achieve it.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Martin. Diana, is this one of your first times on the Tuesday night?
Yes.
So some of you know Diana, some of you don't. But Diana, she's been my airplane companion on the last couple of trips. We happen to be sitting together. It's so great. And so Diana's part of Daniela's medical practice, her and Nick's medical practice, but she's also part of Daniela's health coaching team. And so actually, I'd love to, as we're just introducing you, to have you kind of jump in and share a takeaway and an action item that you have on your from Go Global.
Okay. Well, one of my biggest takeaways was just the whole building relationships based on trust has been huge for me. Because I have a lot of relationships, but really going in intentionally to build that trust with someone and a friendship just has been great. I mean, that's been one of my main action as well, on top of my biggest takeaway. And I'm already noticing people I'm reaching out to that just come to my mind and having great response. I mean, the fact that you can just I sent someone a message today that was just like, I just want you to know I was thinking about how awesome you are and just thought I'd tell you. And she sent me this long thing back about how I had made her day, and she watches my stuff all the time and I'm so inspirational. And it was just awesome. I mean, just by telling someone that you think they're great and giving them that boost, it feels really good. So
think about that. The reality of that, I mean, your stomach might have been in knots or whatever it was before you sent that out. And then we think about, in reality, hearing you do that is like, well, that wasn't any big deal. But
right.
When it's us doing it, it's a big deal. And then to see your face lighting up right now at the response.
Mm-hmm. I mean, she went and did this whole Facebook post about how someone saying that to her changed her whole day and tagged me in it. It was a huge deal. And all it was just thinking about how awesome you are. Hope you're having a great day. That was it. And we had a long conversation, and she said, she goes, once I get through school, I'm even thinking about getting my mind healthy, my finances healthy, and my body healthy. And I was like, all right, sounds great. But
good job.
It felt really good. And it was so easy. It took literally no effort. I had 5 minutes left on my lunch break, thought about her, sent it, and it was a huge change in my day. So, and hers.
Thank you.
So,
if you took one action like that every day, think of the lives that could be changed over a year.
Right.
Just one a day, 365, right?
Yeah.
Posted on Facebook, right? And so now, who knows who that blessed?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 20 or 30 or 50 or 100. I don't know. And then, I don't know.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Thank you for sharing that. That's so practical. Awesome. Who wants to go next? Betsy. Betsy.
I'll go next because mine kind of dovetails in with Diana's. It was at actually the very last lesson or the very last session of the conference, and it was Brian Drollinger and Ken Kutchman. Anyway, chiropractor Ken, and they were talking about basically kind of trying to help us understand the interaction with people and how to care about people and love on them. And they asked us, have you ever had somebody that invited you, and I'll expand a little bit, somebody invited you to a Tupperware party, or somebody tried to sell you Amway or Mary Kay or whatever. Somebody tried to sell you a blender or Ginsu knives, and you said, thanks, but no thanks. and you never heard from them again. And what does that feel like? I mean, all of us take a second and think, what does that feel like? And it brought up tears in my eyes and a chill in my spine, thinking of my inactive clients that I connected with a lot, and for some reason or another, they kind of dwindled away. And I've sent them a little email here and there, or I've sent them a text, and I've said, damn it, I'm going to call one of them and leave them a voice message if they don't pick up the phone, and say just what Diana said. Hey, I was thinking about you, just wondered how you're doing, miss our chats. Just so that they know I wasn't trying to get them, I wasn't trying to sell them, that even though they went a different direction, that I still do care about them. And it's not about getting them back. I really do think about them, because I schedule my clients at a certain time and I go, oh, this is when I used to talk to Annette, and I don't talk to Annette anymore. So that was a huge takeaway for me. That was my takeaway.
Thank you, Betsy. I have that same thing. I have certain, for years, you talk with the same person at the same time on the same day. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you, Betsy. Who wants to go next? How about you, Kim?
Sure thing. Yeah. So there was a big focus this year. I think it's been in our team for quite a while on team coaching. And it's become really a lot of fun for me in the last 6 months doing it. And a lot of times on our team huddles that I do with my clients and coaches, we always say, we're better together. And I heard this quote at one of the sessions, that each person's experiences uniquely prepares them to help others. And just spending a minute to think about that, it's what I experience all the time with my team. I love that when we come together, we have such a mix and blend of skills and talents, and celebrations and challenges. And that when we do come together, there's so much power there. And I like that I don't have to be everything to everybody, because I can't be. And when we surround ourselves with others, we get to be the best us that we can be. And so that was kind of a recurring theme that I heard again and again. And something that goes with it is another quote was, I can help you grow, and as you grow, I grow. And I think that's really what we're here to do all together. So that was some of the highlights and the takeaways that I had. And then as far as an action item, the other piece that stood out to me was the idea of embracing obstacles, because let's face it, we're all going to have obstacles and challenges. And so that's really what I want to do. I want to do that for myself. And then I also want to help my clients do that as well, that to see obstacles and challenges in a different way, and the question is, with an obstacle, it can either help you grow or it can diminish you. And that was the words that were used. And what is that? What are you going to choose? Mm-hmm. So I really look forward as a challenge is presented, an obstacle is presented, how can we grow from this instead of letting it diminish us? So.
Thank you, Kim. That's great. I want to share a little something with you guys. You guys all have heard the stories where you have clients that are kind of rough, and you kind of have to do a gut check. And my wife always tells me, work with the willing. And so I have a lady, and you guys have heard her name. Her name's Phyllis. And she lost 138 pounds 3 years ago. I worked with her for a little over a year, and to lose weight. And then she stayed every 2 weeks. I talked to her. She's 10 a.m. on Wednesdays every other week now. And I've been talking to her for 4 years. And she lives in Baltimore. And so she works the night shift at the hospital there. They in the emergency room. She starts at midnight and gets off at 10. And so, you know, she goes home and calls me and then goes to bed. And so I took a cab, a car out there by the airport, and it was about a half an hour drive there at 12:30 on Friday night. And so this is Phyllis. I've never seen her. I've never met her. I just know what her voice sounds like. And so she came out and she goes, "What are you doing here?" You know? And we talked for like about 10 minutes and had multiple hugs, and that was just one of those things. And she just looked at me and she just said, "You've made my night. Oh, how exciting. Oh, how excited I am." And this is so far beyond like a weight loss thing. I mean, to be able to touch and care for people and just to do what we do. This is what we do. And what a treat it is for me to know Phyllis and have her inspire me on those days when people are rough and they're yucky, you know, and I can think back to Phyllis. So I finally got a picture of me with Phyllis. So I wanted to share that with you guys. Because you've heard me talk about her before. Some of you I know. Linda, you had something. Go ahead.
Yeah. First of all, I love that story, Craig, because it reminds us all that by you being professional and consistent, you don't know where someone's going to go. So that's a great reminder for me, not to peter off of that, to play above the line was one of the habits of health. A big takeaway that was a lot of us talked about when we came back to our rooms and regrouped and we're all verbal processing, is that the company is doing such a phenomenal way of moving away from personality-based leadership and training. And this was the cleanest, most organized, probably less overwhelming event I've ever been to. And that's because they're really streamlining processes. So I feel not only like ready to really go and put my nose down, because I'm learning how to play above the line and I'm learning how to embrace obstacles. And nobody likes to hug an iceberg, but it's a lot better than scraping the whole side of your boat. They use an example that had the captain of the Titanic run into the iceberg head on. Instead of trying to steer away from it, they might have been able to keep the boat afloat longer. So that was one of the examples of embracing obstacles, because it builds character. But really, I feel like I'm able to now begin learning how to plug the systems in that they trained us in, so that I can pass that on. And or having a wardrobe malfunction. That's a story for another time. I'm high maintenance sometimes, and it takes a team of my coaches to help me not fall apart. But I love that, because I didn't leave feeling like, oh, I need to have some of Dan Valentine, and I need to have Tia Wood, and I need to have Doug Wood, or Becca Tinter. I need them to coach with me, or else I can't be successful. And they took all of that out of the picture and really plugged in, here's the steps that you do so that you can be successful and other people can be successful who want to follow behind you. And then just the integrity that the company pours into the standard of leadership they want us to rise to. I felt like I was at a church leadership conference. I mean, that's how integritous and deep they're going with calling us, and who we're to be first, so that we can help that another. I was impressed. I'm more confident, and I feel very prepared and poured into. If that makes any sense.
Yeah. Do you have a specific clear action item that you're taking that you can be concise about?
Yeah, it's really small, but it's using the Facebook messengers and being clear about when and how to start those with candidates, exploring, or coaches and clients. I mean, it's a small thing, but I did it today with you, Craig.
I can see. And
yeah.
Yeah.
Probably started
I learned a bunch of stuff today from Linda. We'll probably have Linda teach us a little class on that.
I don't know about that. Yeah. No, yeah. I feel like I've done a ton of stuff, so it's hard to do one, but the Facebook messaging and being really clear was one of them.
Yep. Thank you. Who wants to go next?
I'll go.
Okay, Mary.
So I think that for me, the takeaway I got was like the confirmation of authentic coaching and team coaching. I felt like a lot of what we've been doing was confirmed at Go Global. And so taking the time to connect with the why is important, you know, because we all struggle to be part of this. And whether it's a client or a health coach candidate, we need to take that time to figure out why. And then my action step is really looking at my map and to stop ignoring the health coach ratio. My client to health coach ratio is really out of whack. And so there's amazing health coaches just waiting for me to pay attention. So I'm going to be working on that. And I think that along with that, I think that my mentor brought up a really great question. I was kind of inspired by your question earlier about our mission statement and sending that to someone who was thinking about health coaching, and then just that be a jump off point for what do you think, what are your thoughts about that? What do you see in that? And then that would really connect. That would open up a big conversation as to why, getting to their why, and helping us move forward with that choice to be a health coach and just mentorship. So I would like to see more direction in that, you know, and I know Kim does too, but I think that's going to be my focus, is building those teams and fixing.
Yeah. Thank you, Mary. Excellent. We were about 36 minutes after, so I want to kind of button us up. But for those of you that listened or were listening to us share our things, if you think about a question, and then I want to make sure that anybody else that was there, if you had a takeaway and an action item and you can be succinct with it, that would be super helpful. I think Martin still needs to go for sure. I'll unmute you so we can hear you.
Was I muted?
You were. Go ahead.
That's why when I said I'll share.
Yeah, I couldn't hear you.
I was trying to be succinct.
Thank you.
It was awesome, by the way. So my takeaway, I guess what really lit me up was on the last morning session with Helen Irwin, when she was talking about our leadership skills, or the 6 leadership skills that she was teaching us on. And hers, number 6 was, if you don't know, it was delivering extraordinary results so we are better to serve mankind. And I just thought that resonated with what we do. But what was so powerful with that was Dan Valentine's story afterwards, is we're here for a reason. We're here to do something with this. And to go back with Dan Blanchard last year, we're here to do something with this lump of clay that we've been given, to make it extraordinary. And not only are we supposed to make our lump of clay extraordinary and do something with our life, but we're here to help other people take their lump of clay and do something extraordinary with that. And with Take Shape for Life, we have the key that can unlock their potential. And that's just something that resonated, or was like ding, 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 that went off for me. And the action steps to go along with that is just taking consistent action, doing something daily that is consistent. We don't have to do something great every day, but we just have to do the same thing every day.
Thank you, Martin. That's great. Simple and great. So any other comments from the coaches? That I see someone named Becky, and I want to know you. I'm not sure who you are, but I know someone invited you here. So let me unmute you. Oh, there you go. What's your name, Becky, and who told you about this?
Kim Stewart told me about this. I'm a new health coach, and I apologize for being late, but this was new on my calendar. Thank you.
Well, so here's the family tree. Just so you know, you have some great grandpas and grandmas that have been here before you, and that's how you got here. So I've been doing Take Shape for about 6 years, and I I'm the team leader, if you will, the great grandpa. And then it goes to this guy named Alex. And then there's someone named Daniela.
I have met Daniela.
Yep. And then Daniela goes to Kim, and then Kim goes to you. And so there's the kind of family tree. We all got here because someone invited us, and then someone's mentoring us. And so I love that we do team coaching. And so this is one of our team meetings. So it is a thrill to meet you. Welcome to we call this the Optimal Health Coach, or the OHC. So welcome to the OHC and our Coach Huddle.
Thank you.
I'd love to hear just maybe one or two sentences. Have you had a weight loss story? Have you had just some kind of a health gain story that you can share with us?
Well, I'm about 2 months in, and I am 29 pounds down, but my non-scale victories are far greater than my scale victories. I was perhaps the sickest healthy person, or the healthiest sick person. I never really, I wasn't a sickly girl, but when I went down, it was big. And my weight definitely played a part in that. And I have battled it my entire adult life. And for once in my life, I feel like I have some control, and it has absolutely changed my outlook in everything.
Wow.
So I'm pretty grateful to Jennifer Easton, who Kim brought in, and who was the one who brought me in.
Oh, fabulous. Wow. You've got a great support team, and thank you for your inspiring words. That was really great. That was a little quiz to see if you knew your story, and you nailed it. Just let me know. Now, here's a little Zoom tip. If you take your phone and turn it to the side, you will get a better...
Hold on, I will.
Oh, you have the anti-rotate on, I bet. Yep.
I do. I usually do this from my computer, but I was rushing.
Yeah.
To get in.
Got it. So you've seen that before. Excellent. Well, welcome. Glad. It's very nice to meet you. Anybody else have something before we sign off that you wanted to say? No? Awesome. Okay. Well, thank you guys. Focus on that one thing that was your action item. And I would encourage you to go over that one thing with your mentor, and then set up some accountability so that you do it. Because really great action plans that don't get done don't have a lot of value. And so even if you just take action on that, my personal thing was to read the Creed, and I got that from Betsy. And then the second one was inviting people to be my Facebook friend. I want to be friends with people. And believe it or not, Diana, we had a great story on the plane. But literally, I met a couple people in the airport, and I just went over to them and I said, "So you're working on getting healthy too?" Because I said I'm a health coach, and they said, "Oh yeah, I just started my diet, or I just did this, or I just did that." And I was like, "Oh, so you're working on this too?" And they're like, "Yeah." I said, "We should be Facebook friends. I love hanging out with people that are working on their health." And I handed her my phone and I said, "Find yourself and friend you." And both people did it. I couldn't believe it. They didn't take my phone and smash it on the ground and kick me in the face. They didn't do any of that. They said, "Oh, okay, that'd be great." And then one of them just messaged me, "Sure was neat meeting you in the airport yesterday." Are you kidding me? I've been waiting 6 years for that silly little thing, and there it is. So
Craig, I have to tie that in. Something I want to encourage everybody. What Craig did is what they were hounding us this weekend, is getting your ego completely out of. I think I'm freezing.
no, we can hear you. Just put a blanket on. Now you froze.
She's freezing.
Look at that.
Yeah, look at her.
Let's all pretend to be Linda.
She's just having malfunctions all over the place now.
Oh, now no, there she is.
It was really good what she was going to say too.
She was pausing Survivor. And
She had a wardrobe malfunction, and now she's having a video malfunction. Actually,
Craig, while she's frozen, it's Betsy.
Hi,
She
Betsy.
said basically let your ego get out of the way. And the other thing, which you did the perfect example of, was get used to just giving the invitation. And don't worry about the outcome. Just give the invitation.
Yeah.
which is what you did.
Ken Kochman said, fall in love with inviting. And I thought,
There
what
we go.
a cool
Thank
way
you.
to say that. Fall in love with inviting? I can do that.
So that Facebook thing is the thing I learned from Amber Smithson at convention. And the other thing that she does that I started doing too was I say, oh, and we also sign up for the challenge. I'll send you the info. That's what we do. And then it just plugs it right in. And then they're getting their healthy habits stuff and,
Yeah. Awesome, guys. Well, thank you all for your input. Thank you for really getting yourself to go global so you could swim in a breakthrough rich environment. Because I think a lot of us had some breakthroughs that we took away that will change who we are over time. That little bit of change can affect the rest of your life, quite frankly. And next week, we're going to go back to our normal huddle. So 6 o'clock, we're going to do our healthy huddle. It won't be the 500,000 people anymore. So we'll be on my normal Zoom link for next week. And we're going to bring in Stephanie's cooking show, Cooking with Steph, and Gigi. And so we have some things planned for next week. But until then, guys, you guys have a great evening. We'll talk to you soon.